What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And guys, we've made it through the 2000s, so you know what time it is. I'm going to sum up my Top 5 songs of that decade right now. Really hard to whittle down, but I think I did it, so let's get right into it. At number 5... Harmonica Song by the Helio Sequence off of Love and Distance. Absolutely love this song. You've heard me talk about it many times here on the channel. It was on my great 28 album openers of all time. I've been trying to spread the word on these guys, and most people still don't know who they are. I didn't when I first heard them, when I saw them open for the Kings of Leon back in 2005, but they blew me away, especially with this song, which just sounded huge live, and it sounds even bigger on a tape. I mean, it's just an incredible recording that these two guys put together. And of course, you got live drums, vocals, guitar, harmonica, the rest kind of like pre-programmed bass and synthesizers, but it's just an amazing concoction that just, I think it's really like euphoric and some of the best rock music of all time. I listen to it all the time to this day, and that's just my number 5. So now at number 4, Reckoner by Radiohead off of In Rainbows. How can you not have this song? I mean, it was actually hard to decide what Radiohead song I would go with. I knew it had to be off of In Rainbows, and then shortly after I was like, of course, Reckoner, man. It's just everything you want in a Radiohead song. You got that beautiful Tom York falsetto through the entire track. It's hypnotic while also being like groovy, and you just want to vibe with it with your eyes closed, and just like they do on the In Basement session, that it's just, I think I've mentioned this before, but my granddaughter, she just gets hypnotized watching it whenever I had it on. It's like, it's as if she's watching cartoons or something, but Radiohead, man, you gotta love these guys. They're just the greatest to ever do it, and this is one of their best. And that's just my number 4. So now at number 3, Delicate by Damien Rice. Oh my gosh. This song is like a spiritual experience. I remember the first time I heard it, listening on headphones in a Borders bookstore. I had never heard of Damien Rice, and I was like, let me check this guy out. Again, another one of the greatest opening tracks of all time. It was on my great 28 list, and I mean, there's just something about not just his voice, which is gorgeous, of course, but his songwriting, man, it's at the top level. Damien Rice, I think, with the few albums that he's put out over the years, and I'm hoping there will be a new one soon, he's just magical, man. He's up there with some of the greatest songwriters of all time, and this one just strikes a chord. It gets to these amazing heights toward the end of it, and you don't want it to end. It is brilliant. And I got to see him live as well, and you could hear a pin drop when he performed this song, and it was just like everybody couldn't breathe. It was incredible. Gotta love it. And that's just my number 3. So now at number 2, Politic by Coldplay off of A Rush of Blood to the Head, one of my favorite albums of all time, and yet again, one of the greatest album openers ever put to record. I mean, I already kind of loved Coldplay with Parachutes, but when they came out with Rush of Blood to the Head, man, I was just like, oh, I'm sold. These guys are going to be like the next best band. And sure enough, that happened. And it was all because of Politic. I was like, I've never heard anything quite like this, where right out of the gate, man, you've got just Will Champion bashing on the snare and the bass at the same time with this very rhythmic thing with these strings, and just a bigger than life song with, the emotion to back it up by Chris Martin. It is brilliant. And yet again, another band that I've had the chance to see live on actually 3 technically separate occasions. And I did get a chance to see them play this song, and yet again doesn't disappoint. Actually, I've had a chance to see all 5 bands that I'm talking about on this top 5 live, which is, man, what a blessing that is. But yeah, Coldplay, man, one of the greatest acts of all time, and you gotta have this on your list. So now at number 1, Jolene by Ray LaMontagne. And no, this is not a cover of the Dolly Parton classic. This is an all-new Jolene by Sweet Ray. As you know, I've talked about this guy on my channel I don't know how many times, but man, this is just like, when you talk about an instant classic, the first time I heard this song, it gave me chills, like from the songwriting, you know, really very similar to Damien Rice. These two guys came on the scene at a similar time frame within a few years of each other. But Ray, man, is, I think, on another level vocally. I mean, the rasp and the beauty that he has is unmatched. Like, dude could sing a phone book and it would still be great. But then the songwriting here, it makes you feel like this is your story, even though it's hopefully not. You know, it's like, it's very kind of dark and depressing, but at the same time, there's a hope to it. There's an earnestness. There's just an absolute, there's something like the Damien Rice song I mentioned, a spirituality to it that just gets under your skin. And I think it's one of the greatest songs of all time, let alone the 2000s. So that is my list, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're so bold, leave me a top 5 or even a top 10, because, you know, so many great songs out of that decade. So many bands too that I realize I've mentioned on here. Of course, there's Coldplay that everybody knows, but there's a few artists that, you know, maybe you don't know or maybe aren't as big as they should be. Like Ray, to me, I think should have blown up to Coldplay level, but at this point, he's still playing smaller venues. But my God, when I saw him live and it was a solo acoustic set and he played Jolene, oh man, it was like, it was an out-of-body thing. It was just incredible. So thank you to all these artists that made my list. Thank you guys for watching. We got top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.